Good morning. Hello, hello. How is everybody? Hey, Serial. Hey, Deadwalk. Hi, SSJ. Hi, Don. Hello, Jamie and Vanessa. Good morning. SSJ, thank you so much for your 85 stream streak. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. How are we doing? Happy friggin' Sunday. I'm good. I honestly can't complain. I'm just moving some stuff around. I can't complain. I'm doing good. How are you doing, Jamie? How are you, Serial? Are you getting more tattooed today? Yes, yes, yes. I think Lumia should be on YouTube as well. So everything is working so far. So good. But how are we doing? Did you guys have a good weekend? I had a good weekend. My weekend was lazy. I actually napped on Saturday because I was exhausted. I slept from like 2:30 to 5:25. Kaneki, hello. Nice. Oh God. Evil. Deadwalk. Your evil is like 56%. What is happening there? Good so far? Nice, Vanessa. I'm glad to hear that. We'll start Coffee Chat of Horrors here soon. We'll wait for everyone to shamble on in. But yes, if you are enjoying what you are seeing, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, repost this bitch if you're on Rumble, and hang out in the chat. Not sure. I have to go bitch slap a few people. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, you think you have to go and bitch slap a few. You're good just hanging with Joe and watching Piranha 3D. We like the script, and that's why we're watching it. Sure, it has nothing with the boobs. It has nothing to do with the boobs. Yeah. Nice. Awesome. I kind of figured you were going almost every Sunday, right? Just doing well. I'll be watching horror movies this weekend, and by the end of stream with sick. Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool, Don. I hope you enjoy. People that don't deserve it, so the evil will go up. Oh, yeah, 100%. Kick him in the knees. Yours was 545. Jesus Christ, you're super evil, SSJ. That's great. That's great. I was watching nothing but old cartoons, like old black and white cartoons from the 20th century. Nice. Black and white is great. I love black and white movies. I enjoy them. Yeah, I'm stupid like that. Nah, you just like pain. No, my weekend was good. I still want to go see Psycho Killer. I didn't get a chance. I honestly didn't feel like doing anything Saturday. I was lazy. I didn't even clean my house. I was lazy. I even had to prep some shit for Coffee Chat of Horrors because usually I get that done during the week, but I didn't have time this week, so I did it yesterday. And then we watched Sleepy Hollow in the Discord last night to get ready for Tim Burton. And I have this thing where I think Paramount is like taking some things and like hiding it behind their paywall, because that movie Sleepy Hollow used to be on Tubi and on Amazon. It's gone. I think lazy days are needed. Yeah, I even napped, which is not normal, so I know I was exhausted. I think my body is still trying to catch up from last weekend. But also busy week. Like my mornings are busy with going to doctors and all that happy crap. All that happy crap. To be or not to be, right? Right? I like to be. But in Canada and in the States, Sleepy Hollow was on both. And it's now been removed. It was on Netflix. It has been removed. It was on Amazon Prime. It has been removed. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I had to rent it from YouTube. I mean, I own it, but I own it on like DVD. I don't have a DVD player in my PC. Hey, Ron, how are you? How you doing, Ace? Make sure everything is up and running. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hopefully everything sounds good. I'm always afraid that I turn on my stream and things don't work, because it happens all the time. I'm not going to mess with Psycho Killer after reading reviews for others that went to the movies. One person walked out. I don't trust other people's reviews, Neo. I'll watch it myself. I don't care what kind of reviews other people give it. Again, reviews are opinions, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Hello, Kindred. Good morning. How are you? Don, nice. 130 stream streak. Thank you for the love, my dude. It happens all the time. It does. It does. I'm okay. Very tired and very hungry. Oh, well, hopefully you can remedy both of those. Hi, Slipknot. How are you? Hopefully you can get some rest and get well rested, but have some good food. I am not too bad. Exhausted. Been a long week. Kindred, I felt that yesterday. I felt like the week was so long that I actually did nothing on Saturday. I didn't clean. I didn't do laundry. I took a fucking nap. Katrina and I watched Primate last night. Nice. I have that on my watch list. Hey, Reaper, how are you? I have a DVD player. I have a DVD Blu-ray player myself in my living room because I have a big physical media collection. However, my computer does not have one built in. I will see Scream 7 Saturday. Nice, Neo. Nice. I want to see Psycho Killer in the movie theater. Again, I don't trust reviews. They're opinions of people. And if anything has ever taught us about Siskel and Ebert is never trust a fucking critic. Never trust a critic because they fucking hated horror and they shat all over it. I don't believe other people on the internet, especially influencers. Oh my Lord, don't get me started with movie influencers all over fucking YouTube. They can all eat a dick because they're all getting fucking paid somehow. It's gonna bite off Jerry O'Connell's dick off now. The Hubs and I watched Badlands a couple of days ago. I was impressed. Love learning the full lore of the Predator. Predator is great and filled with lore. Yeah, some critics don't understand certain genres. But I find that with even horror movie people, horror movie influencers. And I say that because they have the big YouTube channels, but little do people know is that they actually get paid for these reviews. Just like a lot of people on Rotten Tomatoes get paid for their reviews. Why would someone give a bad review when they're making money? You know what I mean? I don't trust any influencer online. I just don't. Because, you know, movies like The Thing were horrible according to critics. Nightmare on Elm Street according to critics. Friday the 13th was shit according to critics. Like, no thanks. Yeah, and even if they are in the genre, Slipknot, even if they're in the genre, they talk shit about the movie because it's not their kind of horror. They're the upper echelon of horror. Rotten Tomatoes is super corrupt, and if you don't know that by now, you're very gullible. People get paid for their reviews. Just remember that. Remember that. You want a good review, look at somebody who does not get paid. You'll know who they are. Because their opinions will most likely differ from those that are. Look forward to the next one. They definitely left it open for another. Yeah, I can see them continuing the Predator, the whole lore. Yeah, so the marketing team collectively put their dicks in all my holes. In return, they paid me a substantial amount of money to say they did a good job. Yeah. YouTube, it doesn't matter. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I can't believe Psycho Killer is that horrible. I honestly can't. I can't. I just don't. I just don't. It might not have been amazing. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but I will see it and I will use my opinion on the matter. My favorite species was one that, the spit acid, the little worms. Nice, Kindred. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, there's a lot of lore for Predator. I just think a lot of people in the influencer realm, especially those who do movies, do not give you a genuine reaction. You know, Sinners looked well. Oh, Sinners was great done, was well done, 100%. But it was overhyped. Do you know what I mean? All the influencers, and I call them influencers, these movie reviewers, they overhyped it. It was a great fucking movie. Don't get me wrong. It was a masterpiece of a film, but it was overhyped. Same thing with Longlegs. What piece of shit is that? Same thing with Weapons. I mean, they were okay movies, but you guys made it out to be like it was the holy fucking grail, and I'm sitting here like, the fuck am I watching? Hey, Draven, how are you? Yep, lip zipped. Okay, I'll stop talking about it. No more spoilers. It's all good. You can talk about it all you like. I will see it when I see it. I don't mind about that. Movie reviewers are the book reviewers. Yeah. Hey, Cannibal. Couldn't be worse than H40 trilogy. I can't see it being bad. I didn't think Longlegs was great either, but I don't know. Maybe it was just overhyped. I watched Longlegs and I was like, I mean, Nicolas Cage did a great job. The story was cool, but I don't know. It didn't jump at me like every influencer on the fucking internet was like, oh my God, this is the best movie of the year. I'm just like, what? Best movie of the year? What the fuck did you watch? Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not the only one that felt that way about Long Legs and Weapons. Same thing with Weapons. I thought it was a well-made movie. It was good, but again, overhyped. Overhyped. I used to be a book reviewer, and I can tell you that people do it with books. Oh, every reviewer, makeup, beauty influencers, they all get paid, guys. They all get fucking paid. I can tell you that. I know for a fact they get paid. You should see some of the shit I get offered. People are afraid of offending sponsors or even their... Exactly, yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, I liked Weapons. It was a decent movie, but it wasn't a movie of the year for me. And it was overhyped, but not worth the hype that everybody gave it. Long Legs was okay at best, 100% Reaper. Yeah, Weapons was good, but overrated. But every movie influencer was like, oh my God, this is the movie of the year. And I'm just like, okay. Who's licking your asshole for that? The problem then is that it begins to make reviews completely pointless. This is why I don't believe people's reviews. Good morning, Nanita. What was your favorite movie of 2025? Oh, fuck me running. I'm going to have to look at what movies came out in 2025, Cannibal. I watch a lot of older movies. Can you list some that came out in 2025? I don't go to the movie theater, so the year does not really pertain much to me. I don't know. I watch a lot of older films too. I'm good, Speedy. How are you? Let me see what movies came out in 2025. I don't really watch anything other than horror, so horror movies that came out in 2025. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, I liked Until Dawn. Sinners, I will have to say, was one of my all-time favorites. I liked Black Phone 2, but I only recently seen that. Oh, Bring Her Back was great. I loved Together. Together was awesome movie. Weapons was decent. The Conjuring 4 was all right. Woman in the Yard was very depressing, but good movie for mental health. Companion was fucking awesome. Hard Eyes was great. Let's take a look here. What else do we have? I Know What You Did Last Summer wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great by any means either. Let's see what else is going on here. I'm sure I've seen more movies, but for 2025, out of all of them, I'd have to say Sinners is probably my most favorite out of the movies of 2025. But 2025 really brought some good shit. Substance was my favorite for the year. Did Substance come out in 2025 or was that 2024? I don't know. Good Boy was a what the fuck movie for me. It wasn't bad, but it was like, what? Are you going to watch The Mortuary Assistant? Yeah, I'll watch it when it hits streaming services. The game was all right for me, so the movie's probably going to be all right, but I will wait to see it. You know, I'll keep my mind open. I don't ever close my mind off of a movie. Like I said, Psycho Killer has had bad reviews, but that's not going to stop me from seeing it because, like I said, opinions and reviews are like assholes. Everybody has one. Everybody has one. If that's going to stop you from seeing a movie, you might be missing out on something great. I'm sorry. There's no new scary movies other than Sinners out now. New ideas. No new ideas. Yeah, but when we do get new ideas, people shit on them. Look at Malignant. Malignant was definitely cool. You hated Sinners. I love Abigail. I love Abigail. I didn't hate Sinners. I really liked Sinners. I love the story. I love the music. I like the lore in Sinners. And I really want to see more lore on the First Nation vampire hunters. There really needs to be a side movie of that because I thought they were pretty fucking cool. And that would be interesting. Really, Kindred, the movie was so good, but she said about opinions, I love Sinners myself. Yeah, I did. I hated Conjuring 4. What a letdown. I didn't mind Conjuring 4. I enjoyed it. It actually, I don't know. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. Abigail was great. Abigail was fucking awesome. Actually, Heavy really likes the movie Abigail. And he's not a horror person, guys, by any means. He does not watch horror at all. The only horror that he really enjoys is like Shaun of the Dead and Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. or Evil Dead, Ash vs. Evil Dead. So when he wanted to watch Abigail for a second time, I was like, you know, this movie's fucking good when a non-horror person is watching it and enjoying it. I haven't seen Sinners, but I heard someone say it's better than From Dusk Till Dawn. Dusk Till Dawn has a special place in my heart. I wouldn't say it's any better. I would say people were saying that it's a copy of Dusk Till Dawn, and it is not. It is not. I would highly recommend Sinners, Slipknot, but don't go in with all this like hype about it. Good afternoon, Joshua. How are you? Abigail was funny too. Oh, Abigail had its fucking moments. Don't get me wrong. Abigail had its moments. We just watched Abigail the other night, Saturday night, actually. No, Friday night. Sorry, Friday night. Heavy turned it on. I didn't turn it on. Heavy turned it on. I'm just like, oh, you must have liked Abigail. He was like, yeah, I enjoyed Abigail. It was different. And I was like, fuck yeah. So Abigail was definitely good. From Dusk Till Dawn is better, to be honest. Dusk Till Dawn is a different type of film, though. It's about vampires for sure, but it's a different type of lore. Definitely different. Both movies are completely different in every way, in every aspect. Heavy doesn't care. No, he's not a horror fan, and he's married to the queen of horror. Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that weird? He's not huge into horror at all. Oh, thank you. Well, we're talking about Tim Burton, and well, you know, I had to have the spiders. It's about vanity. Could have been a male or a female. It definitely was a unique take on vamps. I love that they combined old school lore and new school looks. Yes, I did too. I didn't like that it was all about women keeping their youth or to survive. Wait, what are we talking about? I'm kind of talking about two different movies here, and I'm not sure which one we're talking about. I enjoyed Sinners very much, and I enjoyed Dusk Till Dawn. Dusk Till Dawn, I've watched that movie. Oh, Substance. Oh, yes. I really like Substance because it hit true to society. There is a different stigma around men aging gracefully and women aging gracefully. Men aging gracefully can get movie parts and anything and everything. But a woman, once she starts aging, she's held to a certain standard. Pamela Anderson literally fucking shows this. That woman looks amazing for her age. And she walked around with no makeup on, looking fucking superstar. She looks great. But society was like, look at this bitch. She's old. She's ugly. Blah, blah, blah. What the fuck happened to Pamela Anderson? Bitch, women are allowed to get old, motherfucker. Shut the fuck up. Enjoy your lurk, plushie. Yeah, they do. They're vampire movies. Totally different lore on vampirism as well. Pam looks amazing. Exactly. But that's what The Substance was bringing out. That was their message in that movie. And it is so true. And we get to see how disgusting some of the men in Hollywood actually are. You know? I don't know. I really like The Substance. I like the message that it brought. I think it's a monster movie more than anything. And I know people will disagree with me on it, but I don't really care. She looks great. Yeah, she does, Deadwalk. My friend and I saw the movie Substance. It was insane. Yeah, it's a good movie. I would recommend Substance as well, but I don't know what year it came out. Yeah, 63 and looks good for her age. 100%. Yeah, I've seen so many people complain about Pamela Anderson because she's not wearing makeup. You know what I mean? Like, why? It doesn't make it. She's happy in her skin. That's how we all should be. We should all be happy in our skin. I got the song in my head, Psycho Killer. Oh, I've had that song in my head for a while, Neo. Good evening, Wickedy. How are you? All right. It's time, guys. It's time. If this is your first time here for Coffee Chat of Horrors, you're in for a nice treat. We are going to switch our scene. We'll go to our disclaimer. Yes, we have a disclaimer because there are some soft folks out there. So there is a disclaimer. It's fun, though. And feel free to talk amongst yourselves, ask questions, be a part of the show, because I will be asking you questions. You will be asked questions. So here we go.
Scary movies and coffee.
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. Horde Entertainment or ReAnimateHer is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
There used to be, Cannibal. There used to be. There will be a quiz later. Do you remember the horror trivia that we did at the end of Coffee Chat of Horrors? We used to do trivia at the end of CCOH. Hi, Rise. How are you? Good morning. So that used to be a fucking thing. We had a great time with it. Maybe I'll bring it back. Because I know some of you long timers remember the quizzes that we used to do at the end of CCOH. We used to, oh my God, I think we used to do them for limbs. Maybe we'll bring that back. I don't know. But anyways, welcome, my foolish mortals. Grab your coffee, dim the lights, and make sure something isn't standing behind you. Because today we step inside the imagination of a man who didn't just watch monsters, he befriended them. From skeleton kings to scissor-handed outcasts, his world feels like Halloween memories you've never actually lived, but somehow remember. Today, Horde, we enter the gothic mind of the beautifully strange Tim Burton. I love Tim Burton. Hi, Vapin. How are you? Good day. Good day, Rise. All right, for those of you that know Tim Burton, before we start, what was your first Tim Burton movie? Do you remember your first Tim Burton movie? Monster High is now launching the 2 zombie girls from Beetlejuice, just like the main characters. Nice, Vanessa. I'm glad you are fantastic. How is your son doing? I'm so glad CCOH is back and it's weekends because I only can lurk streams during the week with me working. It's nice to have you back. Well, thank you, Draven. Thank you. Thank you. We always come back in the fall. October is usually our first episode back. And then in June is our last episode. So we are in season 9 of CCOH. Hey, Runnin' Bear, how are you? Batman. I'm going to have to probably say Batman for myself as well, serial killer, because that's where I first heard his name was Batman. You saw it in theaters. Yes, he is doing great. You're going to be around later today. Yes, I'm going to be around later today. I also have some big movie posters. Oh my God, I didn't tell you guys. Oh, okay. Well, wait for my scrolling moment. Deadwalk, remind me movie poster story time when we get our first commercial. Edward Scissorhand was your first Burton. Nice, Kindred. That's a great friggin' movie. Yes. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's where I fell in love with all of his work. Yeah. Fox and the Hound. Yes. He did quite a few Disney movies. The Cauldron. But at that time, I would probably say I was a bit too young to understand directors. Whereas knowing a movie and seeing the name would be Batman for me. However, later on in life, definitely noticed more, which is pretty awesome. And let's marker that. Okay, born on August 25th, 1958, California, United States. Burton wasn't a normal kid, and we can see that as an adult. He was a compulsive drawer, not doodling, but world building. Edward Scissorhands and Jack Skellington both came from his drawings that he made as a child. So think about that. Edward Scissorhands and Jack Skellington both came out as a child. That's what he drew when he was a kid and later on turned it into movies. I like both. I like both Edward Scissorhand and Beetlejuice. I think they're both great movies and very gothic. I don't know. I think it's great. Tim Burton is Year of the Dog. That makes him Frankenweenie. Well, he did Frankenweenie. Do you know in 1984 there was a Frankenweenie based off of his book, based off of his drawing, sorry. And then later on, they made a stop motion Frankenweenie, which is in black and white, and it's one of my friggin' favorites. One of my favorites. Hi, Trini. How are you? Happy Sunday. Hi, Antisocial. Mars Attacks was really the only one I don't care for. I enjoyed Mars Attacks. Yes, he did Pee-wee. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We're going to get to that, too. I'm okay. Still numb to having my grandmother last Monday. I'm still okay. Still numb to having... What happened to you, Grandma? I know you told me, but did something else happen? I'm feeling a lot better now. It took me a couple of weeks, so I will start working on CCOH again. Sometime this week. Is there... Yes, actually, there are a few things that I'm going to send you that I want to add to our directors list. I actually want to add a few directors. We were just talking about this last night. I want to add Nia DaCosta. I want to add, I want to add a few current. I also want to add a couple of directors like William Crane from Blackula. I also want to add, so I'm going to give you a list because there's quite a few that I would like to add. Ernest Dickerson, he did Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. There's a few, His House, Tales from the Hood director. There's quite a few I want to bring in. I will give you a full-on list in Discord. Yes, Clive Barker. We're already doing Clive Barker. Actually, you guys are going to get to vote on next CCOH. And Clive Barker is one of them that you're voting on today. Sweeney Todd, The Demon of Fleet Street. That's a great movie. 100% a great movie. I love Frankenweenie. Hello, dude. How are you? If you're just joining us, we are doing Coffee Chat of Horrors, our deep dive into Tim Burton. Hi, Mischief. So, Tim Burton grew up watching horror constantly, but never got scared, only fascinated. As a kid, he would go to the Cornell Theater where they'd show 2 to 3 movies for 50 cents. 50 cents. Can you imagine seeing 2 to 3 movies for 50 friggin' cents? Not in this time. Big Fish. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a good movie. I just watched Dark Shadows last night and I like the movie, but I'm still a soap opera fan. I like the original show Dark Shadows, but I love the movie Dark Shadows. No, you can't get anything for 50 cents nowadays. Nice, dude. What is your favorite Tim Burton movie? Hello, Buttermilkin. How are you? When was that for 50 cents? Back in the day when Tim Burton was a kid. Back in the day. We're talking probably 60s, 70s. Yeah, probably about 60s, 70s. He's definitely been infatuated with Johnny Depp. Well, him and Johnny Depp became really close friends when he met Johnny Depp many moons ago. They get along great. They actually can talk to each other without talking to each other. They have this weird energy connection, and he just fits everything that Tim Burton does. He just fits. It's so strange. I used to have a dollar theater when I grew up. Nice. Definitely. Tim Burton. Nice. What is your favorite Tim Burton movie? As if you missed the beginning half, we were asking everybody what their favorite Tim Burton movie was. Or first Tim Burton movie. They are amused. Yes, they are. They are amused for each other. 100%. There's a reason why he casts Johnny in almost everything that he does. Yes, he was born in 1958, Vanessa. So in like the late 60s, early 70s is where he would probably be old enough to be going to the movies by himself. We had a dollar theater here when I was young. Yeah. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Nice, dude. It's a good, that's a good one. So like I was saying, as a kid, he would go to the Cornell Theater and watch 2 to 3 movies for 50 friggin' cents. He loved B-horror. Scream, Blackula Scream, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde, and Godzilla were a couple of his favorite movies at the movie theater that he would watch growing up. And his childhood hero was Roger friggin' Corman. That was his childhood hero. 21 years older than Ross. She's old. Shut the fuck up. You're just as old as I am, Serial. But Roger Corman. Okay, so do you guys know who Roger Corman is? I know some of you that are definitely into horror know who Roger Corman is. But I don't know if many of you know who he is. And he recently just passed away, too. Big Fish, Corpse Bride, Sweeney Todd, Beetlejuice are my favorites of his projects. Nice, Buttermilkin. Nice. Nightmare Before Christmas, Beetlejuice, and Batman is your favorite Tim Burton films. That's great choices there, Mischief Maker. How you doing, Diella? What concert only costs 45 cents? 50 cent can't featuring 50 cents featuring Nickelback. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you guys know who Roger Corman is, because Roger Corman was Tim Burton's childhood hero and inspired him a lot. He also adored Dr. Seuss. Yeah, and Dr. Seuss, one of his favorite books by Dr. Seuss is Red Fish, Blue Fish. Who here read Dr. Seuss growing up besides myself? I read Dr. Seuss growing up. That was the best cast he had. Yes, Sweeney Todd was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. One of my favorites. Do you love Nightmare Before Christmas? Yeah, Trini, definitely. You did as well. What about Winnie the Pooh? I liked Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It was a staple in the 80s. Hi, Elizabetha. Yeah, it was a staple in the 80s. I had all of Dr. Seuss's books growing up. It's how we learned to read in school. Yeah, Dr. Seuss was great. And you can definitely see that Dr. Seuss influenced Burton. I don't know, do you guys see any Dr. Seuss influence in Burton's visuals? Yeah, the book set was mandatory. 100%, lady, 100%. We are done with the booby movie, and now we are watching vampires. Nice, that's a good movie. Green Eggs and Ham, right? You can definitely see the influence of Dr. Seuss in Burton films. You can. In the majority of his films, you can see the influence of it. You can see the influence of German Expressionism as well, since he was a huge fan of that too. Oh yes, a lot of influence from the doc. Not really, but I don't see things like that unless they are pointed out to me. I'm pretty dense like that. No, you just see things differently. Not everybody sees everything the same, but that's what's so great about art, right? Art is subjective. You will see one thing and I will see another, and it will mean something different to me than it will to you. And that's what's great about movies. They're art. You can like something or dislike something, or it can touch you in a certain way that, you know, it doesn't touch the other person in the same way. Hi, Dark Side. How are you? Beetlejuice, especially like the Cat in the Hat. Yeah. What I miss most are Paul Rubin and Catherine O'Hara. Yeah, it's pretty sad, right? May she rest in peace. The color scheme, black, white, and red, sometimes gray and blues, but there are other colors. Yes, yellow. We were talking about this last night about the black and white and the stripes. As we're sitting here last night watching Sleepy Hollow, I was discussing how Burton liked to use black and white stripes, especially in death and love stories. In all of his death and love stories, there is black and white stripes. Beetlejuice, yes, it's about death and love. You have Sweeney Todd. Yeah, it's about death and love. You have Sleepy Hollow, about death and love. So there is a definite pattern in his movies about death and love and the supernatural, and hence why he uses the black and white. He does love the contrast of black and white as well. So there's quite a few of his movies that are based on that you get to see that are differ from his other non-gothic horror movies or gothic death and love movies that he has. And he has influenced numerous people. Look at Lisa Frankenstein, the opening scene of Lisa Frankenstein. That was, I don't know who here has seen Lisa Frankenstein. Hello, Arthur. Lisa Frankenstein is one of my favorite all-time friggin' coming-of-age monster movies. I friggin' love that movie. I've seen it like 8 times. I can't get enough of it. The black and white stripes are used primarily about feelings, but works very well with atmosphere. Yes, it does, dude. Yes, it does. So you know the opening scene in Lisa Frankenstein? That is very, very Tim Burton-esque. And we did a deep dive into Lisa Frankenstein back on Coffee Chat of Horrors a few years back. I saw Lisa Frankenstein when I was on a flight to Iceland. Nice, Vanessa. It's one of my favorite movies. I friggin' love it. I love coming of age horror movies. I mean, because it what helps introduce a younger generation into monster movies like Ginger Snaps. That was a coming of age werewolf film. Oh my God, you have to see it, Dark Side. I mean, it's not for everybody. Heavy actually sat through and watched it, but it's not a film that everybody will enjoy. I thoroughly enjoyed it though, because it definitely is a gateway movie for younger youth to join in the monster movies. Tim Burton to this fan of comic books definitely pulled off. Well, he's not a fan of comic books, you know? He doesn't read comic books, believe it or not. He prefers drawing over the internet as well. So let's get back. Oh, Zombie Lucio, he's great, dude. We did a CCOH on him not too long ago. A few months back, we did one on Fulci. We actually did quite a few Italian directors a couple of months ago. We did Argento, Fulci, Bava. You may want to look into that. I'm slowly bringing them over to Rumble. Slowly bringing them over. I've got to download each one and then upload each one because I need the quality to be good. My friend in the UK and I watched Valentine's Day this year and we both loved it so much. That is great. That is great. Valentine's is good. It's a good movie. Okay, so let's see. He also swam and played water polo in high school at Burbank High. And as a child, he practiced stop motion using a Super 8 camera. I gather you can say he was meant to be a creative. He was meant to be a filmmaker because he started doing these things as a kid. Stop motion on a Super 8 camera. Okay, thanks, Running Bear. See, people don't know Dario Argento. Oh, I love Argento. He's one of my favorite Italian directors. I would like to see him work with Henry Selick again. He is the director and writer of Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline. Yes, he is. Do you know the reason why he didn't direct Nightmare Before Christmas? He was too busy. And so he worked side by side with Henry Selick. That's why Henry Selick also gets the credit for being the director of Nightmare Before Christmas. But Nightmare Before Christmas was also a poem before it was ever a movie. And Jack Skeleton was a drawing that he made as a friggin' child. So it's pretty cool to see that. What do you think of Zach Krieger directing the new RE movie? We'll see. We'll see what it's like. Directors can surprise us. They really can surprise us. Another inspiration for Tim Burton, he was inspired by Ray Harryhausen, who said he wouldn't be a filmmaker if he wasn't inspired by Ray. He was profoundly inspired by German Expressionism, and that's who Ray Harryhausen is. And this truly influenced him on a large level to be a filmmaker. Even though that he was creating things, this is what he was meant to be in life. You know when you know you're meant to be, and he was. We are going to have an ad that's going to be starting, and then I'm going to discuss story time with you and tell you some cool shit that I got on Saturday. But I'll figure out when the ad goes when Sari tells us. He also worked for Disney, which he animated The Fox and the Hound, The Black Cauldron, but Disney thought he was a little too scary for kids. And so he was no longer working for Disney. Do you think Burton would have survived modern Disney, or would he have been fired faster? What do you think? I think he would have been fired faster. I think he did a good move by leaving Disney, to be honest with you. Oh my goodness, Arthur, look at you. A 165 stream streak. You're hoping to reach 100. You will reach 100. Thank you so much for being in here 65 times in a row. We have an ad break that has begun on Twitch. For the rest of you guys, you're lucky you don't have any ads. Tim Burton got fired. Yes, he did. Lady gave us Merlin. Okay, so here's story time. The old movie theater, one of my city's oldest movie theater, recently closed down last week. They're reopening someplace else, but they closed down the building that they've been in since the stand of time. Hey, Choxy, don't apologize. You're here when you're here, buddy. Thank you for popping in. No, he wouldn't, Speedy. Okay, so Carnival Cinema is closing, and it was closing during the weekend that I was doing my charity event, so I could not go to get my hands on some cool things. So whatever, I completely forgot about it. I was moving on with life, and Heavy's friend, a friend of ours, went there last weekend, and they have movie posters that they were getting rid of, and he got me like 6 friggin' movie posters. Pandemonium, 13 Ghosts, The Conjuring 2, and these are big. These are the big movie posters. Like, they're huge, and I'm so excited because we're going to be putting them up in the hallway. Yeah. And I mean, I was upset that I didn't get to go, because that's where you can get a lot of cool shit that the movie theaters hold on to. That's where you get those cardboard cutouts of, depending on who they are, movie posters and a whole bunch of other stuff. And that movie theater has been open for so fucking long, so you know they had some good history stuff. So I was definitely sad that I missed it. I missed everything. However, he was going there. I didn't know he was going there. He was going there because he also is a big movie buff, and primarily Predator and Alien. And yeah, he grabbed a bunch of posters for me, and these are huge. I can't wait to put them up. We're putting them up today after Heavy gets back, and after CCOH, we're gonna run out and get some. I'm not putting them in frames because they're just too honking big, too big, but they're gonna fit in my hallway so nice. I cannot wait to put them up, and I will take pictures of it so you guys can see it. But a movie poster from 13 Ghosts, like, what? I was blown away by that one because that's a pretty old one. And Pandemonium is another one. It is a rare find, and it's from the movie theater. So yay! We know you like them big. I know, I'm a size queen. I like it big when it comes to my guns too. But yeah, I'm super stoked about that because he's like, I'm gonna stop by. I got a birthday present for you. I'm like, birthday present for me? The fuck? And yeah, that's what he had. Welcome back from the ad, guys. Welcome back. I am excited to share the posters with you guys. And I'm in agreement. I think Tim Burton would have been fired faster from Disney just because of what he creates. Even though when you take a look at some of the horrific movies that Disney created when we were kids, you know, Bambi, that scarred many of us. Murdering a fucking mama deer. What? Dumbo being ripped away from his mother. That is some traumatizing shit, and they thought Tim Burton was too scary for kids. I think not. I think not. The old one, or the one with Matthew Lillard. Oh, this is the one with Matthew Lillard, 13 Ghosts. Yeah, I like both. Disney is very dark, and they hate women because you can see that growing up, all of the women in the movies have been villainous, but I love the villains. I love Maleficent. I love the witches in the Disney films. Dumbo made me cry when he missed his mother. Well, right? That's traumatizing, and they thought Tim Burton was too scary for kids. Come on, get off your high horse. You made everything scary. Look at the fucking puppy killer. 101 Dalmatians, Cruella de Vil. She was killing puppies for a fucking jacket. Tell me that's not scary as a fucking kid. You know what I mean? Like, Tim Burton too scary? I don't know. You guys are a little confused, man. A little confused. Pinocchio? Right? Like, there was a lot of movies that we grew up with that were friggin' horrific compared to Tim Burton films. Like, holy shit. And I mean, those were just the top ones that traumatized me as a kid. 101 Dalmatians totally traumatized me as a kid. The fact that she was murdering puppies. What? But I guess they didn't see that. But Tim Burton was one of the first directors I introduced my kids to, because he had such great entry-level horror for youth. You know, Beetlejuice, Frankenweenie, they were all great, stepping stones for kids to get into horror movies. And he was one of the first directors my children actually got introduced to his movies before anything else. He wrote a poem while working at Disney after watching Halloween decorations get replaced by Christmas ones, and that poem became The Nightmare Before Christmas. And it was directed by Henry Selick. But he was just too busy to direct it himself, so he worked closely with Henry Selick. It's very similar to the Poltergeist film with those two directors, Spielberg and Hooper, right? Fun fact. The studios argued how Jack Skellington could see without eyeballs. Bitch, a skeleton is dancing and coming to life. Why are you worried that it has no eyeballs? They argued they wanted Jack Skellington to have eyeballs. What? Like, it's a skeleton that gets dressed up as Santa, dances around, and is from a figment, imaginative land. Why does he need eyeballs? I think it would totally change the look. You should buy some Disney movies on DVD before Disney Plus canceled Christian Scenes. Oh, I have no idea, Vanessa. But I know that you definitely want to buy physical media. Definitely want to buy physical media before it's gone. A lot of places are getting rid of physical media, which is super sad. Jack is Burton's favorite character, and Jack appears secretly in a few other films. Do you guys know which films Jack Skellington appears in? There's two. Do you know which two? And you will rewatch it, and you will pause it, and you will see it. Okay, so the first one is James and the Giant Peach. Jack Skellington is in there. And then in Beetlejuice, Jack Skellington is in the carousel in Beetlejuice. You have a Jack tattooed on your hand. Nice, Dark Side. Nice. But those are the two films that you get to see Jack Skellington. Yeah. He threw him in there in the background. Disney was the first company to want the script for Nightmare on Elm Street. There are other companies like Dimension has made so many horror movies like Scream and Hellraiser. Yeah. Jack Skellington is a pirate in James and the... Yes, Vanessa. So you can see Jack Skellington. It's one of Burton's favorite characters, and it's one of his... He drew it as a kid. Battlejuice? You mean Beetlejuice? Okay, for you guys at home, is Jack Skellington a Halloween character or a Christmas character? I knew Beetlejuice. Raw, we need a comment deleted. It won't let me do it. Okay. We can do that. We can do that. Thank you guys so much for the follows on my CCOH channel. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I think he's both as well, Troxy. I do. I believe that he is both as well. Okay, I got it. I also reported that. I reported that one, Deadwalk, earlier today. I didn't get a chance to delete it because I can't delete it on mobile. I believe he's both as well. I think he is a Christmas Halloween figure. And can be used in both. I do have a Jack Skellington Christmas ornament for my Christmas tree. Hello, Basement. No worries. If you are late coming into Coffee Chat of Horrors, you can check out the VOD on Rumble and on YouTube. So you won't miss anything. Yeah, I do. I believe he is both as well. And we are coming to you live from the Coffee Chat of Horrors channel on Rumble. So if you want to give it a follow, please do. We are now getting closer and closer to 100 followers, which is yay, over on my CCOH channel on Rumble. Okay, let's get back. Okay, so his first big theatrical release was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Then it was Beetlejuice. And then he changed superhero movies forever. Batman, $100 million in 10 days. followed by Batman Returns with 47.7 million in 3 days. Like, what? What? 47.7 million dollars at the box office in 3 friggin' days. 100 million in 100 days. Like, the shit. There's a ghoul shadow that resembles Jackie, Skelly, and Vincent too. I've had it with Wednesday. I think the character's been done to death at this point. Wednesday Addams? I don't mind the Wednesday show. I love those movies so much. They're good movies. I like Batman. Michael Keaton is my Batman, though. Like, there is no other Batman for me. I mean, I love Christian Bale. I just love Christian Bale. But as for Batman, I love Michael. Then Batman movies got shitty. Well, because he wasn't directing them. Michelle Pfeiffer, oh God, she's the only Catwoman for me, Toxie. I kind of like the take Ortega brings to the role. I don't mind what she brings to the role. I don't mind the Hogwarts goth version. That's what Wednesday's show is. It's the Hogwarts but in goth version. And I like it. I see nothing wrong with it. You love Sweeney Todd? Who doesn't love Sweeney Todd? I mean, it's such a great friggin' movie. It's a horror musical. And it's really very few musicals that I actually watch. Remember Adam West? Yes, I do. I remember Adam West. I know that's the Batman you grew up on. I liked his look for the first 2 films. Yeah, Jack Skellington was in Sleepy Hollow as the Pumpkin King. True. You could see him there, but the original looking Jack Skellington is what you see in Beetlejuice and in James and the Giant Peach. If you're having fun from learning about horror movie history, slap that follow button and become a student of CCOH with Professor Ra. I should be wearing my attachés, hey? For me, it's Keaton and Ben. Yeah, I'm a Keaton fan though. Jack the Pumpkin King, yes. So Jack is the Pumpkin King, but he's physically seen as Jack Skellington in both those movies. Where in Sleepy Hollow, he is the Pumpkin King there as well, but not in his not in his Jack Skellington look. Serial is going to crash right into Joe's shop with all this squirreling. I know. Okay, so is Burton's Batman still the best gothic Batman? Because everything that Burton touches is still gothic. Every movie still has that gothic handprint on it. And I do think that it's his best Batman. The only thing I don't like about Wednesday is making Christina Ricci such a prominent character. I don't like the fact that they vilified Christina Ricci, in my opinion. They made her a villain. Yeah, he is in the shop. Burton's Batman is our Batman. 100%, lady. 100%. I believe it. They all suck, the Batman films. I really loved Batman. I think I'm going to watch that today, actually. I really enjoyed Batman and Batman Returns. I loved his look. There's a lot of lore behind Batman and Batman Returns and behind the scenes stuff. My very first Tim Burton deep dive that we did like 4 years ago. No, in 2020 is when we did our last Tim Burton deep dive, where I only went through a little bit of Tim Burton, but then I spoke about his big movies like Batman and Batman Returns and all of the information about those guys. You can check it out if you want. It is on YouTube, so that is a different CCOH deep dive where this is specifically about Burton himself. She does play a great villain, lady. She does. And the show Gotham City was a TV show. I thought Cameron did an awesome part for Catwoman. Nice, Running Bear. You might have to jump out of the way if Raw crashes into the place because of squirreling today. I know, I squirrel so much today. It's crazy, but you guys are to blame on that squirreling. All right, so do you know that he almost made his own Superman movie? And did you know that it was going to star Nicolas Cage? Did you guys know that? He was going to make a Superman movie starring Nicolas Cage. It never happened. So is that a blessing or a tragedy? You'd watch that? Not me. I'm nagging you to stay on track. That you are. You always do. You always do. I love Wednesday, but I wish it had more kooky like the original series. I want more bumbling and oddness. I would agree with you, Serial. I love Michael Keaton's return as the Dark Knight in the live action film, The Flash 2023. Oh, nice. I have not seen that. Study in Point Woman. It was so bad. Burton would have made it dark and gritty. I think he would have made it dark and gritty and gothic. I don't know how I love Nick Cage. I'm a huge fan of Nick Cage. Nick Cage is such a comic book nerd. I think he would have gone wow. And it may have. Did you see the suit and hair? Wait, what? What are we talking about, Serial? Nick is doing Noir Spider-Man. Oh, is he? Fuck that. But then Nick actually named his kid Cal. Cal-El? I love Nick Cage. I could definitely see him being Superman. I don't know. I think it would have been cool. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, my chair keeps rolling backwards. Have you seen the trailer for Spider-Man Noir? No, I have not. I'm not big into the superhero stuff, so there's lots that I have not seen. I'm not a fan of Superman. I like Superman, the one that I grew up with. I enjoyed Superman back then, but I also loved Wonder Woman that I grew up with. So it looks good. Interesting. No, I cannot see him as Superman, just like I can't see Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm not a Ben Affleck fan, so yeah, I've not seen Ben Affleck as Batman. No, it looks so bad. Look up Tim Burton's Superman and you can see the test footage. Cage looks so stupid. I didn't look it up. I did not look it up, but I will look it up. Fun fact, Nick Cage did, in fact, play Superman before Flash movie in Teen Titans. Nice, Buttermilkin. Nice. Christopher Reeve and Linda Carter. Yeah, that's who I grew up with. Wonder Woman and Superman. Just think of Sin City. Oh, I liked Sin City. Long black hair, but balding at the top and electric blue suit. What? Seriously? Okay, let's go. We're squirreling, guys, because we need to see Tim Burton, Nick Cage, Superman. Hold up. We're gonna have to see this. This is not real. Is this real? No, this can't be fucking real. Hold on. Oh Lord. Making test suit with hair curls. I love Michael Keaton. Though. Dean Cain was the only one that did the best one for Superman. Just not a fan of all the remakes. Right? I was like, oh my Lord. Look at the cod piece. Oh boy. You can even watch the early test footage. Oh my Lord. Oh no, that is the test pick. Yeah, that is. I'm just I still love Nicolas Cage though. I still love Nick. That's hilarious. It's the metallic sheen on the suit, right? You're speechless. I don't want to look at the cod piece. That's fucking funny. I'll have to watch the test footage off stream, but oh my Lord. Burton was set to direct a remake of House of Wax with pop singer Michael Jackson. Superman Lives, but is completely changed as Superman Returns. Interesting. Where's Monkey with the dick jokes, right? Who knows? This is canceled. Oh Lord. Okay, let's I think we dodged a bullet there with Superman and Nick Cage. Sorry, Nick, I love you and all, but so Tim Burton met Helena Bonham Carter on Planet of the Apes. And there was this scene that was too sexual, according to the production company, and they cut it out. Basically, Mark Wahlberg has sex with Helena's character, and they decided that they didn't want that, and they cut it out. But that's where he met his wife, Helena Bonham Carter. Did you guys know that they lived in 2 connected houses? Do you want to know why? Not just because they wanted their own space, it's because he snored too loud. I do like that he changed his name to not get his uncle's credit. Oh, 100% serial killer. 100%. I'm glad he did that as well. I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage. We're fucking scrolling now. I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage. He is such a diverse actor, and he's a horror fan. He loves the classic horrors, and I think he did a great job in Renfield. He's always wanted to be a vampire and play Dracula. I don't know. I'm very biased. Coppola's uncle. I mean, Nick Cage is Francis Ford Coppola, his uncle. But he did change his name to Nicolas Cage because he wanted to make his own way in Hollywood and not off of the back of a famous name. One was Comic Collection 2. Yeah, he is. But that's what I love about him. He's kind of crazy. He's eccentric. I love eccentric people. I mean, that's why I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton. He's quite eccentric. The More You Know. Johnny Depp, another one. Exactly, The More You Know. Johnny Depp is another eccentric person, but I love him as an actor. I loved him in Renfield. He did a great job. Nick was good in Mandy. I fucking love Mandy and Color Out of Space. He did a really good job in Willy's Wonderland as well. Nicholas Kim Coppola. Also, Talia Shire is Nick Cage's aunt. Yeah, he's got a pretty big family. All right. No more squirreling. We got 30 friggin' minutes left, guys. Okay, so he wears pinstripe socks for good luck. He dresses in black so clothes match easier, and he carries art supplies everywhere. Will draw on napkins and walls if necessary. He's always has an attaché case or something that has art supplies in it because he loves drawing so much. He doesn't read comic books, and he doesn't remember dreams. He also calls filmmaking expensive therapy. So I love the way he thinks. He also fears chimpanzees. He's deathly afraid of chimpanzees. And it's so funny because he did Planet of the Apes, right? Lick ass. I mean, kick ass. I hate you, Key Gremlins. Renfield needed more Cage. I agree, Choxy. I agree. I like the very first Dracula, the black and white. You mean Nosferatu or Bela Lugosi? Because both are in black and white. The very first vampire movie ever was the German film Nosferatu. But then later on in the 1930s, we have Bela Lugosi coming in that we now call Universal Monsters. Okay, I'll be quiet and just listen to the tattoo machine. Why you be quiet? It's all good. We squirrel. We have another ad break starting soon. Just like the black and white, the Wolfman. Wolfman is great. So you're talking about Bela Lugosi's Dracula Running Bear? Because like it's the very first vampire movie is the German movie Nosferatu. 1992 Dracula will always be my favorite. Does Tim have any new projects to look out for? Not that I know of, not that I've found, but I really didn't deep dive that area. We are going to talk about Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Do you know that budget was $50 million? And worldwide, he brought in 152.523 million. Like, that's insane. $152.5 million at the friggin' box office with Sweeney Todd. Crazy. You know, it's based on the story from 1846, The String of Pearls. Oh, we got an ad break. So we're going to stop right here. Yeah, both are really good. Or Christopher Lee, maybe that's who you saw. No, it was both movies he's talking about serial. Well, Hammer Horror, right? They have their own section of horror icons with Dracula and everything. If you haven't seen any Hammer Horror films, you should. They are great. They're a little more, I say, risque than Bela Lugosi or Boris Karloff films. I think Hammer Horror always had that sensual feel to their movies, their monster movies, compared to the black and whites of like a Universal Monsters. I really wanted to find a real set of those razors. Max Schreck as Nosferatu in 1922. There was some vampire movies before Nosferatu, but they are lost movies. Yes, they are lost movies and no one has seen them. There's also like one of the first horror movies ever made was a Western. So yeah, that one's pretty crazy. But you can't talk about Dracula without mentioning Hammer and Christopher Lee. No, you can't, because that is also their icons, right? You never saw that looked good? Never saw a set that looked good. Got you. Yeah, the razors. Sweeney Todd, aka Barber of Saraville. Yeah, this one is the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. But we'll talk more in about it here as soon as the ad is over. Lee is one of the quintessential Draculas. 100% he is. 100% he is. I would definitely recommend you all checking out Hammer Horror. You are truly missing out on masterpiece horror movies if you have not seen any Hammer Horror. Seriously, you got to go look it up. And Christopher Lee, yes, Sir Christopher Lee is a friggin' icon. I always wanted to see the Broadway version. I'm not big into musicals. I have very few musicals that I enjoy. Sweeney Todd, never losing that now. No. Because I was reading quicker than what my fucking eyes are seeing. He really is a legend. Or is that on Shudder? I don't know if Shudder has Hammer Horror. I can give you some links though. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing's 100%. I have, where is it? Oh, I have the Van Helsing collection of Hammer Horror. Here, I'll show you. This is just one of them. But this is Peter Cushing. Oh, no, down here. Down here, camera. This is Peter Cushing's and Christopher Lee. This is the Van Helsing Ultimate Action. Heavy found this for me along with Sir Christopher Lee. But that's pretty friggin' cool. I was so happy he found this. Sweeney Todd, what you call the dude singing musicals too loudly. Oh my God. They do not. Oh, okay. Welcome back, guys. But there are some on Tubi. Oh my God, I love Peter. Hammer Horror Movies used to play every Sunday night on the Horror Channel here in the UK. That's awesome, Choxy. I didn't get to see Hammer Horror until much later because they didn't show Hammer Horror on television when I was a kid. We saw like Bela Lugosi, we saw Dracula, we saw Wolfman and the Invisible Man. But as a kid growing up, I've never seen a Hammer Horror until much later on, and renting it. I get Sweeney Todd in the shower. Shut up. I got brought up with Hammer Horror. Yeah, you did, Elizabetha. Same thing with Reaper and with Choxy. Svengoolie, yeah, he was great. He's a great TV horror host. Dracula 1920 is a Russian lost movie, and Dracula's Death in 1921, a Hungary lost movie. Very interesting. Those would have been cool to see, those Slipknot. Ra, what channel were you watching? Back in the day when I was a kid? I don't know. It was like one of the 13 channels, because we only had 13 channels. Our TV had the little fucking antennas on them. And my grandmother would always turn it on because my grandmother is who introduced me to horror. We lived with my grandmother for a long time. We actually were babysat by her a lot. She introduced me to horror itself, and I remember watching Dracula. 13. We only had 13 channels back then. Hammer Horror would be a good name for a porn studio. Hammer Horror. Yeah, it could be. We were an antenna fam too. Yeah, Buttermilkin. Yeah. She was the reason why I got into horror movies. Benny Hill, because loved Benny Hill. MASH, she loved MASH. Benny Hill was fucking hilarious. We weren't supposed to watch Benny Hill because Benny Hill was more of an adult, like raunchy adult TV back then. But Grandma didn't care. Grandma wasn't missing her Benny Hill shows. Same, but my granddad introduced me to horror. That's awesome, Choxy. Benny Hill was on Channel 9. Zombie, thank you so much for sacrificing your soul. You've been subscribed for 46 months. I thank you so much. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing well, Zombie. Isn't there already a name for a porn station called Hammer Horror? I have no idea, Basement. No idea. I don't watch porn. Yeah, no idea. Monkey would know. He watches a lot of that shit. He's the one who told me about Ghostface. There's some Ghostface porn out there. If you can make it, it's out there. Put it to you that way. Hi, how are you, Dead? How are you doing? Speak of the fucking devil, and he arises. Monkey, how are you? We were just talking about you. How are you feeling, Monkey? Are you feeling any better? Good day besides it's snowing. It's snowing here too. It's disgusting. It's so gross. It's not coming down heavy, but it's sporadically snowing here. Monkey is porn. You're not feeling any better? Neither do I, but now know more about the behind the scenes of the porn industry cause of a couple of friends. Nice. Yeah, she was talking about everything but Tim Burton. And I heard the last bit. Yes, we talked about you earlier today too, about a cod piece. Did you hear your ears burning? There is, Basement. There is. Okay, let's get back to Tim Burton. Oh shit. Okay, where were we? Sweeney Todd, right? Sweeney Todd. Okay, so Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, budget was $50 million, and worldwide it made $152 million. It's based on the 1846 story The String of Pearls, starring Johnny Depp. Here are some facts. The mechanical razor prop was because of how Depp requested it. Depp is the reason why they had that mechanical razor pop. Carter was pregnant during filmmaking. She also practiced baking while singing rehearsals so she can get vocal training done. Sacha Baron Cohen trained 16 hours for shaving. And Anne Hathaway almost was cast for the role, but it went to an unknown by the name of Jane Weisner. Depp considered Todd related to Edward Scissorhands and influenced by Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, Anthony Newley, and Iggy Pop. That is who Sweeney Todd is inspired by for Tim. Oh, I don't know a lot about porn, just had to know stuff since the Rogers video. Well, yeah, but we were talking about Ghostface porn, that's why, because you told me about you told me about it. It's not laying right now, it's too warm out. Oh, is it warm by you, Running Bear? But yes. That is the Sweeney Todd. And you can see by Sweeney Todd's look that he was influenced by Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff, Anthony Newley, and Iggy Pop. Depp was the only American cast member. Now, do you feel, is Sweeney Todd horror, musical, or tragedy? I believe it's a horror musical. You're not able to see that if it's a ghost. Possibly not, but we did see in Ghostbusters, one of the ghosts gets sexual with Dan Aykroyd's character. Oh yeah, always assume there is a porn parody. 100%. You taught me that, Monkey. It's a horror musical for sure. I'm in a good mood as it's been a good day. I'm just cooking roast. Oh, that sounds delicious. Are you making Yorkshires as well, Elizabetha? I don't like musicals either, but I do love, I do like specific horror musicals, but I'm not a big fan of musicals per se. Okay, so his signature black and white stripes to him symbolize duality, outsider identity, and chaos. He prefers drawing over the internet, and his net worth as a few years ago was $113.3 million. some find his style comforting and others find it unsettling. What do you feel when you watch Tim Burton? Do you feel that his movies are comforting or do you feel unsettled? There has been mixed reviews on how Tim Burton makes people feel when they watch his movies. I find it comforting myself. Oh yeah, always assume, and I seen gay ghost porn. Comforting, comforting. Yeah, I think the biggest group is comfort. His movies are comforting. They're not overly topped gore. I mean, Sweeney Todd's a bit different. Lots of blood in Sweeney Todd. I do love his aesthetics. Definitely love his aesthetics. Yeah, you're making Yorkshire puddings, roast spuds with homemade beef gravies. Damn, it sounds good. I'm making chicken thighs stuffed with cheese and broccoli. All right. So, some directors make movies, other builds worlds. And then there's Tim Burton, a man who made loneliness beautiful and taught us monsters aren't scary. They're just misunderstood. Today, you decide our next descent into horror cinema history on Coffee Chat of Horrors. We are going to be doing a poll, and you guys are going to pick next Sunday's director. It's either going to be Clive Barker or Osgood Perkins. Give me a second while I set the poll up, and I will set up 2 polls, and you guys can vote on it. Next, CCOH director, Clive Barker. I know Barker is probably going to win. But Osgood Perkins, up and coming. He's got some good fucking movies. Some really good movies. Let's start another poll. We're going to talk about Osgood Perkins regardless. Like, it's coming regardless. Clive Barker or Osgood Perkins. All right. I don't think I can do a poll here on... No, I can't do a poll on Rumble. But you guys can put in the chat who you want. We're starting a poll on YouTube, and we are starting the poll on Twitch. If you are wanting to check out either one of them, you can go over to Twitch, you can vote, or you can put it into chat. If you're on Rumble, who do you want to see next Sunday? Clive Barker or Osgood Perkins? You guys get to vote. Little Shop of Horrors and Rocky Horror Picture Show are only musicals I watch. Have you seen Sweeney Todd, Zombie? It's delicious, Elizabetha. It is delicious. We're gonna let you guys vote. Take your time and vote who you want to watch next Sunday. Regardless of who you choose, we will eventually be getting to the one that you don't choose, because we do have a big lineup of directors that we're diving into. So you guys can vote Clive Barker. The poll on Twitch is above, and there's a poll on YouTube. If you're on Rumble, you can just type in Clive Barker or Osgood Perkins. So far, it's Clive Barker. I kind of assumed it was going to be Clive Barker. She's not a well, she is sort of she's not really a director. I don't mind Cassandra Peterson. I like her. Yeah, she's made 2 of her own movies. One was independent and the other was with a big production company. I'm going to have to try that raw during the week. It's good, Elizabetha. It is really good. Clive has some really good work. Yeah, he does. 100%. 100%. We have a lot of directors that we're going to be talking about. And I'm excited because not only do we have a huge list that Reaper is currently working on, because Reaper 1923 is my partner in crime when it comes to Coffee Chat of Horrors. However, we have another list that we're going to do. I want both filmmakers, Clive Barker versus Osgood Perkins. I chose Clive Barker, then Osgood. We will discuss, regardless, we will be discussing Osgood Perkins sometime in our list. But I give you guys the choice to pick who we discuss the next CCOH. So on our next CCOH, you guys will have a choice as well. And Clive Barker did win. Clive Barker won 78% to 22% Osgood Perkins on Twitch. And on YouTube, 75% to 25% and 100% on Rumble. So that's fun. All right, let's end that poll. We can get out of there and end this poll. Beauty. I did like Monkey and Longest Form. Longest from Osgood. Osgood makes some good movies. You know what I mean? He does. He's an up and coming director that I think more should understand and know about. I do hope you guys enjoyed this this version of Coffee Chat of Horrors. Long Legs, got you Basement. I hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into Tim Burton. Hopefully I hit everything that you guys wanted to hear. Next week we will be diving into Clive Barker. I love Clive Barker. He's such a great creative. We will be diving into him next Sunday on Coffee Chat of Horrors. And then, of course, you guys are voting on the next CCOH after that. We do have a great lineup of directors and current directors that we are going to be adding to the roster. We're going to be adding some Black directors, as I feel that they don't get as much recognition. We've done Mexican directors, we have done Spanish, we have done Asian, we have done a whole bunch of directors, and there is quite a few directors from the 70s that were pushing boundaries in Black cinema, and that is going to be coming up in the next couple of months. We're going to be talking about William Crane. He directed one of my favorites, Blackula, from 1972. I watched Golden Girls until I remembered CCOH. I fucking love Golden Girls. I need to watch Keeper. Is it any good? Keeper isn't bad. Thank you, lady. Jordan Peele is who Serial Killer is talking about. I would really like to bring some of the older directors to fruition, because they were creating the way for newer Black directors. I want Nia DaCosta. I want William Crane. I want Bill Gunn. If you don't know who Bill Gunn is, he did Ganja and Hess, which is from 1973. We also have Ernest Dickerson. He did Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, which is one of my favorite Tales from the Crypt movies. Actually, who directed The Bride of Chucky. Yes, we can do English directors as well. You guys are more than welcome in my comments on YouTube. Put people you want me to deep dive, whether it's a director, an actor, or a movie. Let it be in the horror industry, because Coffee Chat of Horrors, you know. Us, Get Out, and Nope. Yeah, that's who he made. Yeah, Us, Get Out, and Nope. He's also from Keenan and Peele. I don't know if you guys remember Keenan and Peele from back in the day. We're also going to bring in Welcome to the Terror Dome, Tales from the Hood by Rusty Cunduffy, Bones, which is Snoop Dogg by Ernest Dickerson, and The First Purge, which is Gerard McMurray. There's a lot of great directors that we should be bringing in. Also, the director of His House, which is Remy Weeks. I really fucking love the movie His House. Key and Peele, yeah, that's it. And that shit's hilarious. Yeah, Mad TV. Now I'm remembering the films from Jordan Peele. Yeah. I mean, we can bring Jordan Peele in. I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Peele. Ryan Coogler is another one that we're bringing into Serial. I have an entire list that I wrote down last night, because I was sitting there and I'm looking at movies and I'm like, you know, I'm looking at my director list and we have an array of people. I was like, you know, I need to bring in some of the directors from like the 70s who were making way for people like Marlon Wayans, like the Wayans brothers, that started with Blackula, Black exploitation films. There's a lot. And Ryan Coogler did do Sinners, one of my favorite movies. How about Terrence Fisher, who pioneered Hammer Film Productions? Okay, let's write him down. I gotta go and grab my notes here. Hold on. Okay, so Terrence Fisher, Hammer Film Productions. But yes, if you're watching this as a VOD and there's somebody, a movie, a director, an actor a stuntman that you want me to deep dive, please put it in the comments. Or if you're watching on Rumble, you say, "Oh, I want to see more on this guy or this girl." We're also going to be doing women directors as well, as women directors do not get as much notoriety. Nia DaCosta is going to be in that. I'm hoping March is Women in Horror Month, so I'm hoping to do women in horror for March. I'm hoping to do a whole lineup. Even producers, Deborah Hill is coming too. So some of the female directors that we're going to be looking at is Nia DaCosta. We're going to also be looking at producers like Deborah Hill. Not many people know who Deborah Hill is. I can't wait for next Friday. Hopefully I get VIP tickets to Scream, because apparently they are showing a trailer for the new Scary Movie, and Marlon said if the movie does good, yeah, I heard that if the movie does well, he'll make White Chicks 2 and Don't Be a Menace to Society. I heard that as well. We'll see. He worked in 1904 to 1980. 1904 to 1980. All right, I wrote that down. But yeah, I'm excited to see what March brings. There's so many creatives out there from all different cultures. Some movies that I'm going to leave you guys with to watch is The Old Ways. Great Mexican horror. That is a really good movie that you do need to watch. His House is another really good film to watch. If you haven't seen His House, I seen His House when it first came out onto Shudder. It's a spooky movie. Thank you, Monkey. Thank you. White Chicks? Oh, that's a funny ass movie. I love White Chicks. It's one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite Wayans brother movies. If you ever watch my gameplay that I do, there are many times that I sing. Many times I say "Making My Way Downtown." I'm literally referencing Terry Crews in White Chicks singing "Making My Way Downtown." That is one of my favorite movies, and I quote a lot of my favorite TV shows when I'm gaming as well, like Elizabeth from Sanford and Sons. I quote that as well. Watch Vampires. We are watching it now. Vampires is a great movie. I own the collector's edition. I also have a collector poster of Vampires. I have a big collection of posters. One day I'll have them all up. One day over the rainbow. We will. But yeah, White Chicks is fucking hilarious. It's one of my favorite movies. Elizabeth from I'm coming, Elizabeth. I love I love that TV series. Yo mama's so old when she breastfed, it's like powdered milk. James Woods is so cheesy as a tough guy. He really is. I always remember James Woods on an episode of Family Guy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. I still say my all-time favorite movie is 1972 Blood-Sucking Freaks. That's a trauma film, Running Bear. Ash? Yeah. White Chicks is great. I know. I miss that show. Who doesn't love Sanford and Sons? I mean, I'm showing my age because Sanford and Sons is a great fucking show. Back in the day, I used to watch. Lady, you remember 227? What? You ain't white? Someone get this blank away from me. White Chicks and don't drink your orange juice in South Central while being. I can't remember the full title, but the fucking title of that movie is so insane. I love 227 as well. All American Massacre? Isn't All American Massacre the movie that Toby Hooper's son was supposed to make, but it never got made? While Driving in the Hood. Yeah. Funny. I was randomly thinking about 227 the other day. 227 was great. Don't be a menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood. That's it. Jesus, I can never. The title is so fucking long. How does anybody remember it? Jackie Harry? Yep. Actually, Ash is the only guy who's charming in a serious horror movie against the evil. Yeah, he's not bad. I love Bruce Campbell. But I also liked Todd. Oh, why can't I think of it? He was a doctor in Scrubs. Why can't I think of his name? He's one of my favorite doctors in in the TV series Scrubs. But he also played Todd versus why can't I think of it? Farmer? Todd and the Book of Pure Evil is another good series. I'm just trying to find. Now that is not the one with the Scrubs doctor in it. Why did Ash vs. Evil Dead get canceled? From my understanding, it didn't have enough people watching it. Warehouse 13 is good. Good morning. I was playing with my gamma rays again. Nice, Aaron. How are you? Yeah, what's his name? Scrubs. Dr. Cox. Dr. Cox. Dr. Cox is his name, but what's his friggin' name? John McGinley. That's it. John McGinley. Now, he is in a TV series that was done in 2012. Which is another one of my favorite TVs, that Stand Against Evil. You ever heard announced Evil Dead? Yeah, I heard that Evil Dead Wrath is coming. For those of you looking for clips, yes. Oh, you can download them on YouTube, by the way. Loki needs to be fired as a producer. It is, I know it's closing time and he's sleeping on my bed. Stand Against Evil. Watch that TV series, 2016 to 2018. It's great. If you haven't seen it, Stand Against Evil. Stand Against Evil. But let's roll into our credits because it is about that time. Twitch is buffering. Sorry about that. Twitch is always giving me issues though. Always giving me issues, but I hope you guys did enjoy the this episode of Coffee Chat of Horrors on Tim Burton. Feel free in the comments, whether it's on Rumble or on YouTube, to put in who you would like me to deep dive, whether it's a movie, whether it's a director or a stunt person. Thank you all for coming out on your Sunday morning or afternoon or even evening to come and hang out with me. I do greatly appreciate you guys. We will be live on Monday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We're diving right back into Alan Wake 2. So we will be doing that. It's all good, lady. I thank you for loving the show, Dark. I appreciate that. I do. Coffee Chat of Horrors is my favorite thing to do. And I wish I could do it all year round, but in the summertime, since our summer is so short, I do a lot of camping and I'm out among nature in the summer. So we usually take a break from June to October. That is our seasonal break for CCOH. I used to do it all year round, but then I was always canceling because we're always going camping. But CCOH is one of my favorite passion projects. I love doing it. I hope it has brought some light to you, learn some new horror movies. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys, and I will slash yous all later. Bye. Thanks, Basement. Thank you. Bye.